What is the difference between positive psychology coaching and traditional psychotherapy? I may be uniquely positioned to talk about this since I've done both professionally over the past 3 decades. I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins. I'm a professional psychologist. For the first half of my career, traditional psychotherapy. For the last half of my career, positive psychology coaching. Here are 5 points for you to consider as you clarify the distinction between these two. Let's start with the objective, a focus on goal achievement versus healing. Coaching emphasizes working toward and achieving goals, sometimes in a very systematic way. There's a strong emphasis on personal development and future-oriented progress. Therapy, on the other hand, focuses primarily on healing, addressing mental health concerns or issues and finding remedies for those. One of the primary objectives of therapy is to alleviate emotional distress and to address past issues like trauma or abuse. As I share these distinctions with you, remember that there's no hard, fast rules that says this is only in therapy or this is only in coaching, but I'm sharing with you some of the general areas of focus that might be indicative of either one. Here's another one: solution-centered versus problem-centered. Coaching tends to be more solution-centered. What's possible? It focuses on the abilities and skills that can be brought to bear on working toward a predicted outcome. Coaching is also about leveraging strengths and enhancing overall well-being or happiness. Therapy, on the other hand, often focuses on problem identification and alleviation. Therapists help their clients to resolve and cope with challenges so that they can minimize suffering. Another distinction has to do with the timing focus, present and future versus past. Coaching typically focuses on what's going on right now and what are we hoping to accomplish in the future so that we can come up with a goal-directed approach to accomplishing what the objectives are. Therapy traditionally delves into the past experiences of a client, trying to understand some of the dynamics or psychological precursors to the things that they're experiencing now. This often includes looking at childhood experiences, past traumas, family dynamics that are all quite instructive in helping to understand how psychology is playing out today. If you're new to the channel and you're finding this helpful, would you just take a moment to subscribe to the channel? Hit the notification bell while you're there, and then you'll get the next video right on schedule. Another distinction that I've noticed through my career in both areas, coaching and therapy, is a client-led experience versus a clinician-led experience. In coaching, the client tends to lead, where the coach supports and offers input about how the client can move toward their stated goals. In therapy, the therapist often leads the experience, guiding with clinical theories or approaches that might include providing a diagnosis and a treatment plan that is prescribed by the clinician. This leads me into another distinction that the history will help to illuminate, and that has to do with a non-clinical versus a clinical setting. The whole field of clinical psychology came from the medical profession. In the early history of psychotherapy, there were certain problems or other conditions that emerged that were thought to be controlled mostly by the psyche rather than the body. But in order to fit in to the accepted medical world, psychotherapy adopted a very distinct clinical feel. I think that this was magnified when insurance came into the picture, and the therapy industry wanted to get a little piece of those insurance dollars that were going working out for verifiable medical conditions. It's not always the greatest fit when it comes to our thinking, our emotions, our relationships. There are some parts of the medical model that fit fairly well and other parts that don't fit at all. But when we go back to the clinical versus the non-clinical, therapy is definitely in more of a clinical setting. Coaching typically is not. And that also means that there will not be as much regulation, there won't be as many restrictions to practice, there will be more freedom to explore different routes that could never be covered in a therapy or a clinical setting. The fact that you found this video tells me that you have some interest in learning what the distinction is between therapy and coaching, and that maybe you're considering it, either as a clinician or as a client. I hope that this video gave you some insights. Are you ready to take that next step and talk to someone about how this might fit for you? We can help. We've got some experience in this area. Go to the URL that's on the screen right now, drpauljenkins.com/let's meet. And you can have a free discovery session with either me or a member of my team that will help you to identify what steps you could take to move forward with what's next for you.